You're waking up with Dee on News and Talk WAOK. And I am so glad to welcome to the show none other than the Honorable Mayor of Atlanta. Yes, I'm always going to call you Mayor because you're always going to be my mayor, Keisha Lance Bottoms.
Good morning, Sora. Great to join you.
Good morning. I am so excited. You have no idea how excited I am. First of all, not because you're my Sora, not because you're a black woman, but to me, you are the most qualified, poised, and positioned person to take us over the top in November. So tell us, Madam Sister Mom Sora, Keisha Lance Bottoms, how are you going to do that? Because I know this moment has to be so surreal for you right now, right? So tell us how we going to get there.
It really does. And, you know, we were together right at the end. We continued to run through the tape, and I know you can appreciate this. Someone asked me the week before the election how I felt. I said I feel like a pyramid. So for anybody who's ever crossed the burning sands, you know exactly what that means.
Oh, God.
But we knew that we had to keep pushing, and we didn't want to take anybody for granted. And that's the same energy we are going to take into November. I don't care what any polling says. Right now, the polling has us beating both Burt Jones and Rick Jackson. But as a candidate who's come from behind before and won, I know that all things can happen. So we're going to keep moving around this state. We won 158 out of 159 counties. In that county, we lost by 3 votes. So that tells you every single vote counts. So we're just going to keep moving, not just going through communities, but going into communities, talking directly to people about what our plans are for the future, listening about what they want for the future, and then just working and planning to be able to deliver, God willing, when we are elected in November.
And I love that. A lot of people don't realize how hard you were working during the primary. You were crisscrossing all across the state of Georgia, as well as still dealing with family issues. People still have questions like, why did she leave being the mayor of Atlanta? And I'm like, she didn't leave the position. She served her term. But for those who said, well, will she quit on us if she becomes the governor? What do you say to that? And the naysayers on that particular issue.
And I'm glad that you said that, because I've never quit. I served every single day that I was elected to serve as mayor of Atlanta. I was in City Hall for 12 years, and I said throughout the campaign that, you know, that was a very convenient, even lazy narrative to say that I quit. I gave the list of all the things we accomplished in Atlanta, including 4 years of balanced budgets, $180 million in the bank, a child savings account for our kids, an affordable housing trust fund citywide, 7,000 units of affordable housing. And I can go on and on and on. But I knew that while that was a convenient and often lazy narrative that I quit, that the vast majority of people didn't see it that way, and that was borne out in the election. I've won the city of Atlanta, so and again, 158 counties. So I hope that we can put that to bed. I've never been a quitter, but what I have always been for the past 24 years is a mother. And I made the best decision based on what was best for myself and my family at that time. But even if you saw us standing on the stage Tuesday night, my family is a very different family than it was when I served as mayor. My kids are now 24, 18, and I have 2 15-year-olds, almost 16-year-olds. So that's a very different position than when you have 3 kids in elementary school. I think I had 2 in elementary, 1 just entering middle, and 1 in high school. So hopefully that has been put to bed. The people of Georgia have put it to bed with a resounding victory that we had Tuesday night, and hopefully we can now focus on the real issues.
And that's what I'm looking forward to, the future. So your message now, it resonated with people all across the state of Georgia. People are saying that today, even this morning before you called in, well, how can she win rural Georgia? And I was like, the same way she won 158 counties, your message resonated. So tell us how you plan to do this, because I don't believe that you're going to go and snatch people who would have been Trump supporters or Burt Jones and Rick Jackson supporters anyway. But we have to build the base. So tell them how we're going to do this. Or what messaging? Because I believe you have the message.
Yeah, well, one is the messaging, but secondly, making sure that people receive the messaging. So, there were some people who said I shouldn't be on TikTok with my daughter. Well, if that's what gets people's attention, then we're going to get their attention, and then we're going to share our messaging. There are people who said, well, stop talking about your hair journey. Well, guess what? My hair journey gets more attention than my Medicaid policy. But if it's my natural hair journey that pulls you in, and not that I'm doing it to pull people in, but at the end of the day, I'm just being me. And if your attention or interest in what my hair journey may be on any given month then leads you to want to know more about our policies or our plans to improve literacy and offer free technical and community college in this state, then we're just going to meet people where they are. So we're going to mail to people. We're going to knock on doors. We're going to get on social media. We're going to be on the radio talking to people like you who have large audiences. We're going to go up on TV. We're going to do all the things. You may have even gotten a phone call. We had people phone banking. So, there's some people who believe that you keep the old, don't worry about all this new way of campaigning and vice versa. I think you have to do it all. I always put the bookends of my mother, how she receives her information, my kids, how they receive their information, because I now have 2 voters in my house, and then me in the middle. I'm the sandwich generation. Catch me if you can. So, I say we are the best focus group that I will ever have, and I'm going to message to all of us in the way that I know will resonate with us.